Oh, child, your ancestors have spoken and they are pissed about something. They want you to know that you are not and were never meant to be the strong one in every relationship. Listen carefully. You are always the mother, the nurturer. You are always the healer. You are always the fixer. You're always the money lender. You're always the emotional translator, the teacher, the one who understands everyone. This message is not gentle. Your ancestors want you to just observe something here, because you're not meant to be born to be the unpaid laborer for your entire community, in your family, at work, in your friendship groups. You walk into a shop, suddenly the shopkeeper or the assistant there start telling you their life story. You meet someone and suddenly they're crying on your shoulder. Your guides and your guardian angels are just saying to you that listen to your ancestors, pause and breathe. Because this one, I think, is going to sting a little. Because your ancestors, there's like this energy of almost like wagging their finger at you. Let's dive deeper into the message, the channeled message that I was receiving for you. Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand why your relationships feel draining, why resentment keeps sneaking up, and why love is always felt like it was work instead of rest. And more importantly, you're going to receive permission for your nervous system to rest. It's been begging you for a long time for it. And for some of you, your ancestors are actually transmitting this message to you because there's a sense of you where you're starting to get ill, where you're starting to get sick because you're always taking on other people's burdens. Other people use you as a dumping ground, as a dustbin for their emotions. So your guides, your ancestors are saying to you, it is important for you to understand that I am someone who has watched powerful people, intuitive people, heart-led people burn themselves out in the name of being good. Many people that I've worked with, sometimes it is a repeating pattern that is there, especially with the when you're going through your spiritual awakening, you're wanting to help other people. Some people I work with are empaths, and it is just natural for them to want to do more. Some people are seers, and they can see where some people are making a mistake, and they try to come and help and divert people to the right path. But truly what ends up happening is that you end up burning yourself out and you end up draining yourself, and people don't listen anyway. So you end up doing overtime for nothing. And then when people don't listen to you, what do they do next? When things don't work out, they come, and now you are now the emotional supporter, the one that they are crying on their shoulders. Your ancestors is saying that it is a sense of you giving too much and not realizing that you're actually burning the candle from both ends. It is time for you to stop showing up for other people, because some people are just asking. They're addicted to asking. They're addicted to getting advice. But barely do they ever take the action that is actually going to see their lives changing and going in the direction of greatness that you see in them. Whether this is your children, whether this is friendships, whether this is someone you care about, your lover, your ancestors are just saying to you, take a seat for a moment. Because Spirit is very clear today. You are not here to be useful all the time. Understand that sometimes you need to be held too. You need to be comforted too. You need to be the one that feels, you know what? I can speak my truth and I can take my superhero cape off and be weak for a moment. Let's be honest. When life is not working out, who do you call? But when people's lives are not working out, they call you. But rarely do you ever have anyone to lean on, anyone to call upon. So I want you to comment in the comment section below, I am not everyone's superhero. The song I'm hearing in my head is by Karen White. It's an old song. And it's that song that says, I'm not your superwoman, right? Because for some of you, you're supermen, you're superwomen, you're super people that are always showing up. But it is time to show up for yourself. And some of you are feeling emotional as you're hearing this message. So if you're already emotional, stay with me because your ancestors are very clear on this message. This message is going to land. I want you to see this video and to watch it all the way to the end because I've made this video not for algorithms, but for you. As a signal to you, to your spirit, that you're ready to stop abandoning yourself for other people. You're ready to stop carrying other people and let them do for themselves because they are capable. But why would they show up? Why would they do for themselves when they know that you are going to do the heavy lifting, the hard work for them? So stop letting other people use you spiritually, emotionally, physically, and everything in between because it is draining you. Let's get some tarot cards and let's see how the messages are going to be elaborated by our tarot cards. And as I get our tarot cards, I want to say to you that on the 13th, it is going to be Friday the 13th. On the 13th of February, we are going to be doing our cord cutting ceremony live on Zoom. You're going to come in, you're going to participate, you're going to be cutting the cords, and of course, I'm going to be lovingly instructing you. So Friday the 13th, Zoom live ritual for cord cutting. The link is in the description box below. And also for those of you who are wanting to do this in your own time, in your own space, there is a PDF version for the ritual, but the cord cutting is something that I feel that it is going to be necessary for some of you. So if you feel called to come and be part of this ritual live on Zoom or through the PDF, go in the description box below and reserve your space because spaces are limited because we're going to be on Zoom together. As I wait for the card to come out, I'm going to carry on channeling this message for you. Okay, so your spirit guides are saying to you, they're wanting to say this out loud to you. Okay, some of you have learned very early in life that love has to be earned by understanding, by being mature. Were you the child where people are saying, wow, you're so mature for your age? You internalize that as something positive, but truly it was a way that people were educating you to show up for other people all the time rather than for yourself. You started thinking that relationships had to be hard work instead of being low maintenance. You started being the bigger person all the time, always the one who's ready to forgive, always the one who's ready to assist, ready to help. Being the one that doesn't need much. I know certainly when I was younger, I was the child that didn't need anyone. I didn't need anything from no one. So before I thought that was something positive, but as I grew up, I understood that from a young age, I was taught to be there for myself, to be there for other people, and to always show up. I was praised for being mature for my age. So if you're the same type of person, your guides are saying that it is safe for you to understand that love doesn't require you to always be the bigger person. Being needed is not the same as being cherished. Being needed is not the same as being cherished because there's a sense of some of you confusing being needed as love. No, baby, people are just using you, plain and clear. So Spirit says it plainly. You keep calling these dynamics friendships and relationships, but your body experiences something that is different. It experiences something that you always need to be responsible. That's not love. That's emotional employment without a salary. Some of you certainly have funny spirit guides, because what I was seeing was like working so hard for other people, showing up for other people, going to their house, helping them clean, helping them look after their kids, doing so much. You're doing too much. So your guides are like, listen, you're not an emotionally employed person, that people don't reciprocate the same energy, don't show up for you the same. They are just there to lean on you, and that's it. The truth that most people avoid, and I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but it is true. If you disappeared tomorrow, some people will not even miss you. They will miss the role that you played in their life. If you were the person who always calls up and checks on other people, if you stop calling and checking up on other people, wait and see how long it takes before people call you. You see that months, weeks, days, maybe even years will go by and no one will call you, because you are the one who's maintaining these relationships. You are exhausted, not because you love too much, but because you are over functioning in rooms where others show up less or don't show up at all for you. And your soul is done negotiating for alignment, for reciprocation. Your soul is done and is tired. And so your guides are saying, baby, sit this one out. The next time when someone calls you and say, something has happened, sit it out. Because you know that they'll not do the same for you. And it's not about doing something to get something back, but rather it is about balance, right? You're always investing in other people, but they never invest in you. So this cannot be a one-sided relationship, a one-sided situation where people benefit, but you never reciprocate. They never reciprocate that energy back to you. So your guides and your ancestors are saying, hear us clearly, child. You are not the one who always has to be strong. You're not created to be the wisest one all the time, to be the patient one all the time, to be the forgiving one all the time, to be the one who understands all the time, to be worthy of love. Did you hear that? You don't have to do all those things so that you are worthy to be loved, to be seen. Because the other people on the other side, they don't do all those things for you, and yet you show up and yet you love them. So sit that for a moment, because I know for some people that is going to hit hard. You do too much, but in a way in your subconscious mind that you're wanting people to love you, to see you, to respect you, but it doesn't work like that. People who take have no bounds. They will not stop taking. And you, as the person who gives, you also don't have no bounds. You give and give and give, but your cup is about to run empty. You don't need to teach people how to treat you. You don't need to be the person who's always healing other people. You don't need to explain your pain in ways that makes it easier for them to digest. If you're going through pain because of how they treat you, how they show up for you, you should have the words. You should be able to communicate with that without over-explaining. You are allowed to be soft. You are allowed to be supported, not just to be the capable one. Spirit says you deserve relationships where someone notices that you're tired. When was the last time someone even noticed that you're tired? Some of you literally have back pain because you're lifting so many people, and these people will not notice that you're tired from lifting them up. You're tired from being the strong one all the time. Someone pours into you without asking. When was the last time you're in a relationship where someone poured into you without even asking? Where someone held space for you without it turning into a lesson? Where someone or people don't confuse your kindness for you being always available for them to be that emotional dumping ground. You deserve to meet people or to be with people who don't wait for you to reach burnout before they do anything. And some people, when you do burn out, they will never show up for you like that. You deserve to be rested and connected and to be in balanced situation. And sometimes that just means being alone. If you can, place your hand on your chest and say to yourself out loud or quietly, I release relationships that only love me for what I provide. I make room for relationships that hold me, that see me, that are soft on me. I am no longer the mother to grown souls who refuse to grow up. How do you love that? If you love that, comment a prayer emoji in the comment section below. Take a breath and start setting boundaries, because I feel that it is very much necessary. Here's why sometimes this is hard to hear. And I'm going to go a little bit harder because I'm hearing your ancestors saying to go a bit harder. When you stop overgiving, some people will feel like you have abandoned them. You have stopped loving them. You are now different. But Spirit says their discomfort is not your ticket to betray yourself. You are not charging, right? You're not changing, rather, but rather you're coming home to self. There's an identity shift that is here. From this moment forward, there's a new standard that is simple. If a relationship requires you to shrink, explain, rescue, perform, to belong, it does not qualify to be in your future. As simple as that. I told you that your ancestors were very clear in this reading, in these channeled messages when I was getting ready to switch on the camera and to give you what I was feeling and hearing for you. Your ancestors were very clear. So if a relationship requires you to explain, to shrink, to rescue, right, to be the hero, to perform all the time, to belong, then that relationship does not belong in your future, period. You're not here to raise everyone. Some people only are meant to be met, not for you to keep them in your life. They're only there for a period and they're meant to leave. And you know who these people are because you're always the one who's doing something for them. So if this message directly spoke to you, I want you to comment in the comment section, I choose to be held. I choose to be held. How does that feel? Just close your eyes and imagine just being held, being seen, being understood, just talking and no one interrupting, just pouring your heart out how you feel. How does that feel? That is what I want for you. That is what your ancestors want for you. You are meant to be held. You're not only the one who's holding other people all the time. Okay? So before I go, since no cards are coming up, I want you to listen closely. The right relationships will not punish you for having needs. They will raise to meet you where you are. And the moment you stop doing everything for everyone, you're going to make room to finally be with people who are there for you. To finally be there for yourself. You are not too much. You just have been too much to the wrong rooms, to the wrong people. Spirit says, you are done. It is time for you to be held. It is time for you to be nurtured. It is time for you to be mothered, to be comforted, to be seen, to be loved. Not because you perform, not because it is a transactional relationship. So that's the message that I have for you. I encourage you to go and watch the last reading that I did and see what is coming up, because I feel that there's a theme, there's a running theme that is here. And I hope to see you on Friday the 13th for our cord cutting ritual. And on the 14th, we're going to be doing a honey jar for Valentine, not just for love, but rather to call in the sweet things in love, rather to love ourselves and to be there and to be seen for ourselves. And on that note, I'm going to see you very soon. It is a goodbye from me. Bye.